Hail and well met. I am Mr. Eager DM at your service, and my friends and I welcome you to Trapped by Hope, a live stream Dungeons and Dragons broadcast presented by Lawful Stupid RPG. Tonight we continue our expanded and enhanced descent into Avernus. Our players this evening are Silas the Paladin Fighter, Rim the Ranger Paladin, Typhon the Wizard, Jax the Rogue, Persephone the Bard, Zelmira the Monk, and Falcon the Cleric. Welcome, players. My friends, it is time. I extend my hand, inviting you to step with me into fantasy. Release your hold on that which you know to be true, and let imagination rule for the next few hours. Last time, Conscript Group 14 destroyed a trio of dark, draconic-like fiends that had come to investigate why the caves of Uldrak had been disturbed. Afterwards, they traveled towards the River Styx and closer to one of the watchtowers which guards its vile banks. It was their hope that there they would be able to find armor for themselves to replace that which had been destroyed. An infiltration by Typhon's invisible imp familiar obtained a piece of masonry from inside the tower, and the party stands ready to teleport inside, grab what they need, and get out. However, the familiar observed that the commander of the tower, a bulbous, slug-like humanoid with vestigial wings dressed in fine robes, seemed to be aware that attack could be imminent. Adventurers, what do you do?
Uncomfortable dead silence.
Uncomfortable with the plan that I thought up is why. There's a very large slug-shaped wrench that's been thrown into it.
Has Typhon already told us?
Slug wrench. What?
Has Typhon
I don't know. Has he?
Sounds like a fantastic.
I will say as the imp comes back and I think hands me the piece of masonry.
Has a small piece of gravel. Just
for you, master.
Thank you. I think we have a problem, though.
Shocking.
The commander of the tower seems to have been alerted to our plan. They're on high guard at the moment.
I promise I didn't say anything.
How do you think that happened?
Well, either by betrayal or perhaps our proximity has garnered more attention than we had initially thought. Perhaps our reputation, in fact, is of more threats to them than we do imagine. I do not know the source, only that he received a warning telepathically and put the entire tower on high alert. If this is something we were to do, it would need to be remarkably fast, quick, and coordinated.
Your friend
Quick
Smiler.
and fast are the same thing, but you know.
wait, quick and fast?
Impossible!
Precise, quick, and coordinated. Go with that.
Your friend Smiler. Do you have the ability to call him?
Maybe.
I'd prefer if you didn't.
He is an illusionist, is he not? Would he be able to provide a reasonable distraction?
I'm certain he'd be able to provide anything that someone asked of him, but I'd prefer he not be involved.
Usually people who can provide whatever I ask of them are exactly the people I want involved, but fair.
Is that fair? He can help us with this, and we're just not going to ask because she doesn't feel comfortable.
Well,
Do what
the
you
bard
want.
has said what went unsaid.
Are there other distractions we could create without him? Something to draw their attention, bring them out.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, who wants to be bait? Volunteers?
That sounds like
I would
eating.
gladly volunteer to be bait. However, it is their duty to defend the tower and to alert everyone else. Do we really think that the subterfuge we can create in the next 10 minutes will be superior to that of all the invaders that they have already beaten?
We should keep our course. Give me a moment. I think we need to do this, and I think we should, but the finest details I do not want overheard. So some silence, at least for a moment. I will ritually cast Detect Magic.
Okay. So for the time it takes for Typhon to cast, what do the rest of you do?
I'll walk around whispering.
Are we still in the tiny hut, or is the
tiny hut has dissipated. You are
Good for
now.
driving.
I assume you are up on the bloodstone.
I'm going to keep a lookout.
All right, make a perception check.
Real dice. Perception plus 11. That's cocked, but it's a 9, so a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So, as you gaze around, you see all about the desolate plains of Avernus. You're in a little bit of a dip as the terrain sort of begins to slowly slope down towards the river Styx. There are numerous piles of bones and wrecked pieces of siege equipment. Everything is destroyed to the point of being practically rubble, but it is this area around the watchtowers and close to the Styx has clearly been the site of many battles. But you do not see anything moving in the immediate vicinity. Far distant, you can make out the black shape of the tower. With a 20, you could see that just barely there might be something moving along the top of it. And it appears as if there might be chains hanging down from the battlements all the way to the ground, just sort of barely moving back and forth. But that is all you were able to see.
Okay.
Falcon will move over to Rim and kind of try to pull him aside a little bit, just to make sure that maybe they're out of earshot of Persephone, though if she tries to sidle up, that's her call. Something is... What was your take on Persephone?
He's changed, Falcon. I fear we've lost a very important piece of her. I'm scared.
I wouldn't give up hope just yet. But I believe you, and I think you're right. I think something is amiss with her. And I'm not sure if it's something that needs the healing of a friend or something stronger. But we should keep eyes on her and do our best. Jax,
It wasn't me.
Of course not. I wouldn't think so. I was wondering if you had any rings in your bag.
Bag. Starts looking for his bag.
No, that's not a ring. It's a candle.
Don't take that out.
Okay.
They'd be two
Pepper?
small rings. Anything? I'm looking for platinum if you have them.
Oh. Yes, I do.
You do?
But they're not in my bag.
Oh. Where are they?
They're on my ankles.
You have 2 platinum rings on your ankles?
Under my boots, yes.
What? Why are you wearing 2 platinum rings on your ankles?
Well, because they fit.
That's a fair point.
I'm assuming they're size of like bracelets, aren't they?
No, right? It's like the size.
I heard they. I thought
Platinum
they were
bands of
always size
silence.
of bracelets.
It's
Platinum
the
bracelets.
most
Platinum.
expensive thing he could steal from Claire's.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah,
sparkling
right.
Says here, platinum bracelets. A bracelets to me goes around your wrists and your ankles.
No, I love it. I
Platinum
love it.
colored bracelets. Oh.
Now,
It's like Mad
if,
Maggie
If
and
we're going
Crazy
back to missed
Claire's.
opportunities, I wouldn't steal anything from any place called Claire's.
I'll take my boots off and I'll be like,
Oh, God, they stink.
Oh God, they stink. Oh.
I need a foot rub.
I looked at Zalmira.
Delmira is not paying any attention to what's happening over there because she is still puzzling over the now entirely cohesive piece of glass that the night before she was certain had not been entirely fixed.
There's still
And-
a few bits of it that need to be fixed. He was not able to take care
Entirely fix it?
Yeah.
Well, again, further fixed than it had been previously. And so she hears her name and looks towards Jax, but is pretty much
Wiggling my toes at you.
Doesn't wiggles that no. And she just pays attention.
Oh, blessed Ilmater, you ask us to suffer. Okay.
You can take them
Jax.
off.
Thank you. I was just wondering if I could borrow those.
Oh, that
Been
tickles.
raided.
Oh, we got
wow.
raided.
Right!
Hello, friends.
Judgy DM and company.
Ooh,
Wow, Judgy
welcome.
DM, you're in good company.
Yeah.
I saw that
Welcome.
message and I thought it was simply a comment on our DM. Oh.
Oh, I am sometimes judgy.
Me too.
Aren't we all?
But I was about to say, aren't we all?
Yeah, right. All right.
Well,
so
while you are here, Raiders, please type ! Giveaway into our chat so that you can be entered in to win a giveaway for gift certificate to Kraken Dice.
get you some nice dice. All right, so Falcon is going to attempt to slide these platinum bracelets, I guess, off of Jack's very horrid smelling feet.
They're quite big on his
Yeah.
ankles. They're
Yeah.
like bangles.
Yeah. So walking like an Egyptian, got it. All right, and so as we slide those off, Falcon's going to kind of look at this.
They come off quite easily. His
Whoa,
skin
whoa,
is
whoa,
very
whoa,
greasy.
whoa, whoa.
That's so. Why are you so slick? Like, why is it wet? Yeah.
Goes away, and she gestures to Jax's feet.
Falcon, 50 gold pieces.
Oh yes, no, of course. I've got.
Each. So that's 77 gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. 77 gold. No, I'm writing it down right now,
Oh,
and then
good.
I'll get it to you. All right.
Thank you.
No, of course.
I'm going to be rich when we get out of here.
Oh yeah. I say you'll be the richest goblin with the smelliest god-blasted feet in the world. All right. All right. But thank you, Jax. I think I might be able to use these. And then Falcon's gonna return to sit off to the one of the sides, and she's gonna try to clean off these bracelets a little bit. Because man, whew.
We started a hype train.
Well, excellent. Remember, friends, the higher the hype train goes, the more we can give away at break.
So get Karakin. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
that's
loved
special.
that.
You're welcome.
Are we?
See,
All right.
there's the judgy DM right there.
Yeah.
Loved it.
He's here.
Yeah.
He
So,
never left.
with that, you have these 2 platinum bracelets.
Yeah. So, to that DM, the ward of the ward of bonding that we
Warding
had,
bond, yeah.
Yeah, warding
Uh,
bond.
do you-
Specifically asks for platinum rings. However,
Well,
it's a
technically,
bonus.
it is a ring. Technically, a bracelet is a ring. It is a
Yes.
ring of metal. We're not
It has a
going
ring
to.
of truth to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to. We're not going to split hairs over.
Yeah, we're not
whether or
gonna go
it's a
around. I
Ring
got
on the
it.
finger or on,
Yeah.
on the.
Yes, it rings true.
How do I mute Ryan?
Just promise to keep me in the loop.
No, so absolutely.
Oh, Sean, you did it while you were DMing.
Absolutely.
Doing
That's
it, Peter.
That's a big deal.
We'll circle back to that later, but we should get back onto the plot here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do?
It was a gem of a
these-
conversation.
Oh, we'll do it at the end after the thing. It's fine.
So that will bring us to. Well, first of all, do you have anything you wish to do with these, Falkren, for the time being, or are you? Now that you've got them, you're good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch them, and then once the because I believe we're currently waiting for Typhon to sort
Yeah.
of So
Getting these off took about 10 minutes. So.
Oh yeah.
So Typhon, your detect magic goes off. You and your companions radiate with quite a few powerful magical items. Of course, the bloodstone itself radiates with magic. But you look around, you do not currently see anything that would suggest that there is anything magical that you would not expect to see.
Okay. That is good news. And then I will say, well, there's nothing here at the moment to listen in on us. I feel comfortable at least having a conversation between those of us gathered here. Also, Falkren, you need some protection.
I have
Come
my
here.
faith. Oh. You're not going to stab me, are you?
He just gives you a toothy grin. No, come. And I will reach out and a bit of added protection for you. Yes. And I will hiss a few words under my breath and place a hand on his shoulders, and you will see
Her shoulders.
or on her shoulders, excuse me, and you will see the similar energy to what Typhon does every morning pass across her. Scales suddenly, it looks like they're sprouting magically across the entirety of her flesh and then slowly fade. So now you have mage armor too. So you get 13 base AC plus then your shield and whatnot and whatever.
Brilliant.
So
Okay. And
it's better than nothing.
yeah, and then there's a restriction for mage armor, which I believe isn't there like I can't have medium or like any other kind of armor on, right? Is that
Yeah,
the
but
idea?
you're not wearing armor, right? So
I mean-
it just ends if you put any armor on. So
Yeah, it's like outside of my hair shirt and shield. No, this is where I'm at. So
You have no hair.
yeah, I turned it into the shirt. Come on.
So yeah, it's
So-
basically I just usually add like a studded leather +1 just to act as the mage armor. Because that's
Excellent.
the
Okay, that was
easiest way
that
to do
was-
it online. So
Indeed.
Yeah.
That is the easiest way. Well, so
Well, then
now
I'll-
that you've determined that there is nothing currently listening in on you, and also you have protected Falkren, what is the plan?
should we?
Okay, let's stick with the plan. We can sit here all day and try and come up with the most safe and the most good plan, and none of it's going to make entirely that much difference. Let's just do the one we're doing.
In truth, do we actually need this refit, this equipment? I mean, I've got the mage armor and also other protections as well, and Persephone seems to be quite dodgy. Silas, I don't know how your armor doesn't look completely gone, but it doesn't look great.
Falcon, I'm afraid what we will be fighting will only get more difficult. I think we need every bit of protection we can get our hands on.
I agree, but adding to the suffering of the group by going up against incredible odds will aid no one and will just waste more time and resources. I think there are easier ways to find armor. I mean, look around us. This is a battlefield. Surely something must have been left behind. Or there's plenty of places around Avernus wherein we can acquire what we need without having to throw down. I can't believe I just said that. Ugh.
Typhon, you're our strategist. Do you think this is feasible?
It is possible. And it is dangerous. Did I see the location where the armor was kept? Yes. And
There
was
are
that
several racks on the bottom floor. There.
And that's where the imp grabbed the
Yes.
tile from, too, was from the bottom floor. Okay.
What is the plan? Here is the thing. Here is one other thing that I'll say that your imp noticed. It looked like pretty utilitarian armor.
Oh, so like super.
Nothing
Yeah, exactly.
spectacular.
So we may be like throwing down for some studded leather, or at
No,
the very
not.
least.
There was definitely metal armor, but it wasn't.
Right, but like we're going down for like half plate. And it's just
There
like,
weren't plates, suits.
Scale mail.
yeah, like
Yeah, nah. We can just make that out of scraps at some
I mean, right? Just go ahead and do some stone working. That'll be fine.
I think Persephone has made a good point. We sit here and belabor the obvious. We're assaulting a tower that was designed to repel assaults by greater forces at 1,000 times a greater force, quite literally. And yet, El Terrell still falls.
Agreed.
This tower may be a fool's errand, and I'm thinking we should have some experience with this at this point.
Yep.
With
The-
towers?
the-
Or?
The creature that gave us this, well, hint, or that guided us this way, does not strike me as foolish or ignorant. But perhaps the suggestion was simply not thought out.
Well,
I don't know.
Amun-Osra also gave us 3 options.
In thinking about what I saw, indeed, the armor was nothing like that which you had procured previously. I think we should continue on towards Maggie's. Whatever we would gain from assaulting this place, well, I think the risks to be far too great, especially when they are alerted to our presence.
Well, at the very least, Maggie may be able to give us some directions to Acheron.
Archon.
That one.
Yes.
And if ever we need to teleport to the middle of one of these towers for any other reason, we have the means to do so.
So, we move?
Where do you move to?
Maggie's, right?
Yeah.
Fort Knucklebone.
Or not
Knucklebone.
Gonna work on Maggie's farm no more.
Alrighty. So, turning your backs on the Styx watchtower, you begin to travel north as you attempt to keep the River Styx in sight, I assume, for the most part, as that will be a good indication of where you need to go in order to get back to Fort Knucklebone. If you can find and see the city of El Terrell, then you know that Fort Knucklebone is not that far, since you are able to make it there on foot initially. However, going that way will take you through some interesting areas. Most notably, as you are moving away from the fire plains, you see in the distance a large scaffolding holding a bizarre flesh-like mass that you distinctly recall Smiler the Defiler saying you should not go towards. But going past it will be necessary if you wish to take the most direct route to Fort Knucklebone. What do you do?
I'm not worried about my own safety so much. I'd like to just move on. So going to Knucklebone sounds great.
So, okay.
What's the plan? Do you wish to... So you have an obstacle in your immediate path that will prevent you from taking the most direct route to Fort Knucklebone.
And then the hazard there being like the go around would cost us.
Would cost you more time driving through Avernus.
Right.
You would definitely not reach it in a single day.
Do we know what the hazard is? Just
No one has a direct knowledge of it. You do have someone here who has spoken with Smiley.
Yeah. Does anyone remember what it was that grinning jackanape actually said about this?
Zelmira, you know that Smiler has always avoided this particular structure. But that is all.
I relay that to the party. Because what I remember is that, like, I know that he didn't go there, but I don't remember why.
Maybe it was that he just lacked the numbers to take on the whatever it was.
I don't think that he would have had an issue rallying the numbers he needed. For what it's worth.
well,
Falcon will look right at you.
it's impossible to calculate the degree of the danger of this place. And by going through it, we certainly encounter a danger. By going another way, we perhaps encounter none. So, lesser chance of danger from 0 to 100. Let's go the other way. Perhaps get lucky, or unlucky, but I think the chances are better circumventing.
All right, that's one for going through, one for
Going through.
one for going around.
I see pros and cons. I will defer to the majority.
Falkren, do you wish to go through the danger or around it?
I think it would be foolish to go ahead and try to avoid one fight just to walk right into another. I say we go around.
All right. And that is 2 for around, 1 abstention, and 1 for through.
Let's
Silas?
go around.
Silas?
I heard someone tell me to start driving, I suppose. To go around.
No, this seems to be a discussion for amongst the group, unless you don't wish to take part in the discussion.
It was taking a bit. It was more of a character moment when Typhon disregarded the discussion and said
Oh,
go
I
around.
see. Gotcha. Gotcha. Never mind.
Typhon gets me.
Alrighty. So around you go. Very well. First things first. I will need everyone except for. Wait, no, you've already.
Already
Have
done.
you?
Well, the soul coin thing, yeah, we've done
The
that.
soul
yeah.
core thing. You already did that one. Never mind. Okay, then I will need somebody to roll a d20 for me. So, somebody will need to roll me a d20. Oh, I see.
roll
You did get
Oh.
rolled. Silas rolled a d20. Rolled a 5. Very good. Now a d8, please. All right, another 5. Interesting. All right. As you are driving, there is an enormous shriek that just appears, that splits the sky above you, just as a huge rock of fire just comes blasting out of the sky, coming down straight in your path. Silas, I'm going to need you to roll a d20 to see if you can get out of the way of this meteor that is streaking down directly in your path.
I rolled a 6 on a d20. Don't know if I could add anything to that.
You do. You add the machine's bonus plus your proficiency bonus because you are proficient in land machines. Unfortunately, is not enough, and there is an incredible blast of smoke and fire that just creates a huge cloud of dust. You drive one way trying to stop, and you skid and roll right down into the crater and come to a stop. I will need everyone on board to make a dexterity saving throw, please, as you are suddenly stopped.
Oh, crap.
That's a lot of bad rolls.
That is a lot of bad
Nice.
rolls.
Woo!
All right.
I only
So,
rolled twice. Take the first one.
right. So a roll of under a 13 is a failure. Keep in mind that
Oh, she didn't like that.
no.
Object.
So I will say that Silas's aura helps some of you, but let's see. I don't. Rim, you have not typically been up in the front with Silas. Okay.
I also have a -2 penalty, so
-2 penalty. All right.
I just
so,
gave him instructions, so
Yeah. Okay. I'll say that Typhon, you were in the front, but that will leave us with Falkren failing. Silas, you failed. Typhon with a 7. Do you with your +3?
sorry, I don't know how that worked, why it did that, but I will use Arcane Deflection to give +4.
+4. Okay, and then with that plus, yes, definitely you have enough to succeed. So Silas failed. Rim, you have failed. Falkren, you have failed. And you are thrown from the machine, landing at the ground at an extremely fast velocity.
Is that just those who failed, or everyone's thrown? And
That's just those who failed.
okay,
The others were able to hold on or find a way. Actually, no, yeah. Everyone, that's a good point. Everyone is, if it's a dexterity save, then that means that everyone was thrown, and those that made the dexterity save were able to land in such a way that they did not take damage. So that's going to be 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
oof.
And the, let's see here. Damaged axle. The
Again?
infernal machine has once again sustained a damaged axle and lies in this crater and is it will be extremely difficult to get it out of its current predicament.
Shall I fix it again?
If you can.
I did it first time.
I will try to fix the axle again.
Oh, you know exactly where to go. It's the same axle. It'll be a DC 20 dexterity check to repair.
DC 20 dexterity check.
Somebody guide him.
Also, would the needle give some sort of help? The magic of that thing I know helps repair items. It's in its nature.
The Falcon would follow Jax and try to help guide him on that.
Persephone.
30-20.
That's
Did anyone hear my needle comment? That's fine. It's a good
Yeah, I
roll.
did.
But...
I did.
I gave you a raised
Sorry,
eyebrow
I
for
was-
using a needle to repair a machine. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not
it
sure.
casts mending. The
I'm not sure if
dagger
anybody
casts-
followed that thread, but
Casts a literal repair shit spell. That's so.
It clicks and she kind of rolls her eyes. Well, does it work that way?
As your thoughts turn to it, Persephone, you realize that something about the dagger seems a little off. I would just want to point out, Jax, you rolled a dexterity save, not a check. However, it's an 11. I assume your check is similar in terms of.
That would have been, with the 4, would have been 20.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Dexterity check. Yeah, +5, +4. Yeah.
So, cool. Just don't forget for.
I think I did the same thing. Is that a problem?
No, you were supposed to do the save for the thing. I'm talking.
okay.
He needed the dexterity check to see if he could repair.
Got it.
So, You you feel the dagger feels a little different this morning for some reason.
Has it been gone an hour?
Kind of holds it in her hand. She's like, "What's going on?"
Oh, I've just fixed the
what do you
axle.
mean?
Yes, the axle seems to have been fixed handily by Jax. You are no longer attuned to this particular item, Persephone.
She, when that clicks for her, she looks right at Jax. And can I roll insight? Just to his
Sure.
reaction?
Fixed it.
17. He definitely seems suspicious.
Jax, why is this weapon not attuned to me anymore?
I borrowed it.
Why?
So that I needed to fix something.
What?
It's gonna be a surprise. Shh.
What did you fix?
I was trying to fix Almira's little necklace so she'd give me a foot rub.
He gets right in his face and says, "Don't ever touch my things again."
Well, it's my dagger. I only borrowed it.
She glares at him, walks away.
Do you wish to
Bim.
reattune, Persephone?
Yes, please.
All right, so that'll take an hour, but you can do that either when you rest or while you're on the machine. But the problem remains: this enormous machine, this several, like I think several tons. It is in a pit. And you need to figure out a way to get it out so that you can continue on your path.
Is it just a crater? Are there any like sloped exits out of the crater that looks like they have the potential to drive up?
Make a perception check.
Oh, I shouldn't do that. Okay. With my natural 1 and my -2 penalty, I have rolled a 6.
You're going to be here forever. There's no way out. Might as well just start walking.
Can we blow a path out of this crater? Can we use the wand of magic missiles to flatten a side to drive up and out?
That may be an option.
Typhon,
Is that-
you know that's not an option.
So how big is the crater? If the Bloodstone
It is-
is a large,
It is a gargantuan.
it's a gargantuan crater. All right, Nito burrito.
The crater is gargantuan as it's a bit larger than the machine. You don't have the problem is there are slopes around, but the problem is that the front of the machine, when you move forward, it's going to be going right into the earth as opposed to having any kind of ability to go slant up. The walls of the crater are not so steep that you can't climb out, but they are definitely preventing just being able to drive right out with any sort of anything is possible. You could attempt to just drive and muscle the car, just like the machine, just literally rip through the ground until you're able to
Sean,
come out the other side. But
does the grappling hook on the back of it, does it have a winch attached to it?
there's no longer
a
a grappling hook.
What?
That was the other Infernal machine. Now you have the wrecking ball.
Which could potentially, damage some sides of dirt.
Yeah, you want to move some earth. Let's wreck it.
Not the most ideal way to use it, as it also has to move, but it's definitely possible. Who wants to give it a shot?
I say the wrecking ball doesn't cost us any resources. It's just smash. Well, hell, I'll give it a shot. So, Falcon, I've been wanting to use this thing for a while now. So she's gonna go ahead, saddle up to the controls in the wrecking ball, and be like, let's see if we can get the hell out of here.
Alrighty. So this will be at disadvantage. I will give you a total of 2 tries.
Right.
If you were able to do a certain amount of damage over a certain threshold in those 2 tries, I will say that this is possible.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration
Okay.
to nullify disadvantage for 1. Is that?
Yes, that's as a normal roll. Please roll a 20 with a +9.
Good luck, Falcon, and I give him guidance.
Yay! All right.
This is going. You can't do guidance on an attack roll.
Oh, come on!
Oh, man!
So that's a D20. I should use the Kraken dice. I really should have.
So,
All right. So
what did you roll?
I rolled a 2 on that
So,
first D20.
The wrecking ball is a +9 to attack. So that is a total of an 11, which is not enough.
All right then.
Dirt.
Yeah. Right.
No,
You
it's
should
not.
do this. You should
It's
do
not
this
so much. You do definitely hit the side of the
Yeah.
of the thing. It's impossible not to hit it, but you're not able to work the machine in such a way that it provides the optimal amount of hit to actually do any sort of damage.
All right. I'm going 2 Krakens on this one.
You
So
got
it's
this. You got
advantage.
this.
Was you trying, Falcon?
All right. So I rolled a 9 and a 7. So the 7 plus 9.
Yes, that will be enough. So you are able to hit it. Now you need to do a lot of damage with this roll. This is 8d8 plus 4. It's doubled because it is an object.
All right. 8d8 plus 4. Okay.
So you could roll 16d8 if you want.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it in D&D Beyond?
Yeah. Right. So
Yeah, no math.
Yeah? And plus,
no math.
plus 4,
Yeah.
or is it +8 now? It's doubled.
So 66 plus
16d8 plus
16d8 plus
4.
plus 4. Yeah.
Hey.
Some numbers.
That's not bad. 74 damage coming at you.
74 damage with a massive wham! The wrecking ball hits the side of the crater, and it just crumbles down. You create a little bit of a gully in between, and it the ground sinks around you. And as it does, you see bones and bits and pieces of flesh and leftover weapons and rusted pieces of armor and siege equipment and bones and bones and bones.
Any good glowing pieces of armor?
None that are actively glowing, no.
Falcon turns to the group and says, "Ha! Can't find a door, but I can make a hole."
That was by accident.
That's what she said?
Oh my!
I mean, she's not wrong, but she's not
That's
lying.
an evil Persephone joke right there.
This evil, the evil is the evil. The ground is comprised, obviously, of decades upon centuries of bones and bodies. But you have made yourself a pathway out of the crater. And that allows you all to resume your positions and once again drive on. Persephone, while that is happening, you can take your hour to reattune, but as you do, you hear again in your voices, "What again? Really, I must protest. Surely all you need is me."
My armor is toast. I need everything I can get.
Well, I am very capable of protecting you. You have demonstrated it many times. Your skill is amazing, and, well, if I do say so myself, I provide a little bit of bonus to that. We do not need anything else.
This isn't about defense. This is about offense.
Still, I insist. I only work alone. You will need to convince your sword that you need help. That he would.
As much as I am not up to the task of what Avernus throws at me without you, truly, friend, you're sitting collecting dust without me. So if I die, it's not good for you.
Well, I would assume that one of your companions would recognize how you wouldn't just leave me on the shelf somewhere.
I wouldn't be here to make that call. And they don't have a lot of loyalty to me.
Really? Well, that was not the impression that I got. Well, humans are so strange. I will accept your judgment on this, but are you sure? Make a persuasion check at advantage. The 24. Are you sure we need the help of this? I mean, this very pedestrian dagger, if I may be frank.
Think of it as a buffer between you and a few unnecessary scratches.
An interesting way of putting it. Well, all right, thank you. I will acquiesce to your request. And you once again have your dagger along with you. And as
if Persephone will allow, I forgot that her armor was completely gone too. I will cast mage armor on her as well.
Yeah, she'll allow that.
Okay. That will then bring us to the evening.
13, right?
Yep. 13 plus dex.
But you would then not be able to wear the armor you're currently wearing.
Oh, right.
She does have a
forgot that she
studded.
actually.
It's just not +1.
Oh, yeah. If you just wear your clothes and then do this, it's actually 1 point better.
Great.
So.
I'll do that.
The day comes to a close as a long day of driving, a large arc around the area that Smiler said you should avoid comes to a close. This meteor being the only encounter that you had this day. Again, there is no sunset to tell you that it is time to camp. You merely feel weary. The incessant shaking and rattling and screaming of the infernal machine making this a trying day, even though you are not on foot. The end of the day comes, and it is time for camp.
How far are we from where did we actually kind of make it to, Sean?
A very fine question. You are...
Very fine, very fine.
Very nice. Very
Rat
evil,
kebab,
very
everyone.
nice, very evil.
Thank you, Jax.
Here.
I'll hand out rat kebabs. I've got 6 left.
The
Anyone?
flesh is mealy and tasteless.
But you get a hit point.
Went around the probe droids.
I'll take one.
That's good.
Oh, I see. You take them now. Yeah. You know, old Jax's rat kebabs. 1 hit point. Yeah. Don't hurt you either, these hit points. Well,
So, as camp is time for camp, does anybody have anything they wish to do?
Rim is going to, once we get Tiny Hut up, Rim is going to spend some time praying.
Okay.
Persephone's going. Oh, so sorry.
No, go ahead.
I thought you were done. I did not realize I was interrupting.
It's a prayer about you, actually. Rim is specifically going to ask for guidance on what he can do to help his ailing friend.
Make a religion check.
This is going to be a Kraken roll. Hold on. Can you see it?
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Nice.
So- You are able to block out the small sounds of the group as they're preparing their camp, small conversations, Jack's incessant babbling about rat kebabs, and you find a place of quiet meditation and send forth a true-hearted prayer to Bahamut. Do you put any spell behind this?
God, do I have options with which to do that?
I don't know. That's I'm not
I
familiar
don't
with
think
the
so.
spells, yeah.
I think this is just a genuine call for help.
So for an actual physical answer, it would need to be a spell, as if cast by a cleric or something. But you sit and think about this, and it seems so out of character. There must be something else at play. You just can't bring yourself to imagine that Persephone... Everyone has their breaking point. But it does not seem like Persephone's would have been to become... No. She hasn't done anything cruel. She hasn't hurt anyone.
But she's definitively devoid of empathy, which is what drew Rim to her in the first place. And so that shift is he's egregiously cognizant of that shift in her.
It might actually be better for her down here.
He thinks that?
These are thoughts that are popping through your head.
He will dismiss that thought immediately.
Right. There's nothing that you know to do other than try and find out what is bothering her, if there is in fact something bothering her, or if she has been cursed in some way. You have learned people in terms of magic and other such things at your disposal.
Okay. That is his evening plan.
Does anybody else have anything they wish to do before we set our watches?
Be on watch.
All right, Persephone, you had something you were going to say.
Very briefly that there's a decided like physical removal, not to the point of not being safe within the group's camping, but away, non-communicative, little corner of the room.
So it's a 10-foot radius hut. So
we're in tiny hut.
Yeah, with the group, you are able. If the group would be on one side of the hut, you could be on the other. But I imagine that the group sort of spreads themselves out evenly around the hut.
So I'd say then that it's instead just setting up a pack, lying down, facing the wall of the hut. That's it. Pack, held in her arms so that nobody goes through it.
All right.
Rim will make a concerted effort to take a spot near you without instigating conversation, but he's making sure that he's next to you when you do that.
Falcon is going to go ahead and move to Silas and hand him one of the platinum bangles. Keep this with you.
What is this?
It's a platinum bangle.
I thought it was a manacle from Jax's leg.
Each one man's manacle is another man's bangle. But just keep it on you. I should be able to assist you greatly in a time of need.
You're speaking in such hazy shades. I'm not sure I understand your message.
I'm sorry. Keep it on you. That way, you'll be able to use it in a time of need.
It just peed.
You broke him.
That's my new favorite thing.
What does it do, Persephone? Fulgrin?
Well, I don't know what it does to for Persephone, but I'll bet it does for you. All right. It will allow me to aid you, give you protection. You are often at the front line, and without my armor, I won't be able to be there beside you as I would in the past. But I can do what little I can, and also, when that fails, I'll just hit him with Steve.
Very good.
Persephone, can you turn off the... Oh, is it Ryan? Who has the baby?
Ryan.
Ryan has the baby.
I can't turn off the
Falcon.
baby. She's being fed, so there's that.
Did you guys order that nap time I sent you?
She is living her best life, and I am here
Indeed.
for it.
I just want someone to feed me and change me all day long. That's
Silas, do you take the
Happy girl.
the bangle?
Yes, indeed.
All right. You have a platinum bracelet.
Liked it. Put a bracelet on it.
I put it on.
Very good. Now, let's set some watches. Who is first?
Rim will volunteer for first watch.
All right. Anyone along with Rim?
Should I
Elvira
go?
will join.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
No, you can
she's
go.
most comfortable with. I feel like I know him better, but if you'd like to go, I guess that's fine.
Well, I know him better than you. But you can go. You can go. It's fine.
I'm not arguing that, and she just walks outside.
Second watch.
I'll go second watch.
You can watch from inside, by the way.
I'd prefer
fact-
to be out here.
They can't see you when you're inside, but you can see them.
And it's not as hot inside.
It's actually
Fine.
much more comfortable inside.
She rolls her eyes and comes back in.
Jeez.
So difficult.
Who is second watch?
Oh,
I
no.
will.
Jax is second watch. Who is with Jax? Wow. Third watch.
Oh,
I will be with Jax.
Oh,
Turn to
shit.
Jax.
We
Silas and
absolutely
Typhon?
cannot let him be alone.
That works.
As in Typhon. All right. So, first watch is up. Rim and Zelmira.
Zelmira?
I was like, we did settle on Zelmira, right? Okay. Rim and Zelmira.
I was like, did you forget her name?
The infernal machine. You found a large rock, looked like an inert meteor, just clearly had a long descending path that carved a long fissure into the ground, and you've parked near it, so that you are defended, even though the tiny hut can be made to look not invisible, but be camouflaged. You have a section of stone at your back.
Rim will look at Zelmira and say, your glass piece mended.
Largely, yes. How'd you know?
I saw you touching the bag. I saw your face. I just assumed.
Do you know anything about how this came to be? It's baffling to me. It wasn't at all like this before, and I can't imagine that Persephone did it out of the goodness of her heart, so...
Did we overhear the altercation between Persephone and Jax?
Let's say no. If you did overhear it, it did not strike you as anything important.
Then Rim will remember the exchange that he had bartered with Persephone, and he will say, I didn't think she would attend to it so soon, but I did intercede on your behalf, and I believe she will be willing to complete the project.
I mean, given what's happened without me talking to her, I almost feel tempted to just leave it as it is and see if it somehow puts itself back together.
It is beautiful in any state, Zelmira. And as long as it reminds you of him, it's doing what it was meant to do.
I'm feeling much more grounded with it in this state than before.
I'm glad. I know your preference is to pass this long period of time in silence, but I would enjoy hearing more about your companions, if you were willing to share.
I mean, it's difficult to know where to begin. My brother and I and a group of our friends had been called by another friend, someone who did not start as a friend but became a friend, to help with something at his home, and everything just fell apart from there. I don't think I've even made sense of everything that happened.
And you said your brother is imprisoned somehow.
Well, his physical body is gone, but his soul is trapped somewhere by Mahadi, and I don't know where, and I don't know how to get to him.
I can't even imagine what that must feel like.
It's unbearably painful to think about, because not only was he my brother, he was my twin, and we shared every moment of our lives together from the beginning until the end of his.
Was he a lot like you? Brave, fearless?
In his own ways, yes. Of the two of us, I think he was the braver one.
What do you miss most about him?
Having somebody who understood me without words, having to pass between us. We were connected on such a deep level that I know nothing will ever fill that void.
Selmira, I will help you free him if I can.
I couldn't ask you to do that. It'll be incredibly dangerous.
I wasn't asking you to ask. I'm telling you, I will help you free him if I can.
Why would you do that for me? You don't... I'm sorry, it's just difficult. I've not really met someone willing to extend a helping hand here without a cost. Why would you be willing to help me? You don't know me.
You are surrounded by people whose mission it is to help others without reward. Even Persephone in her current state, that was what drove her. You are surrounded by friends, Selmira.
Doesn't really feel like it outside of you, to be honest.
Give them time. They are...
Silas seems nice.
Silas is very special.
Jax, I'm neutral on.
Just kidding. I promise his heart is stronger than his odor. And that is
That's saying a lot.
something.
His feet are really bad.
Yeah, yes. Yes, they are.
Perception checks, my friends.
Roll the Kraken.
Yeah, I'm also.
It worked real well for me last time.
I got an 8.
Wait,
Minus 2 is 6.
Sorry.
17.
Wait.
Wow, Wobsy.
So are you awake, Silas? This is
sorry,
the
I
first
thought you
watch.
said everybody. Sorry.
No, sorry.
No,
Those are
just us.
people on watch.
Just us watchers.
Just us watchers watching.
You're watching them.
Be true.
Silas is who watches the watchers.
Perception check.
There's a passive come into play here.
10.
Passive would prevent something comes into play when it's catching as it's sneaking up on you. But
10 total.
10. You gaze out on the plains of Avernus, looking as horrible as usual, but you do not see anything. Hello, Zelda.
Oh.
I see a baby. My perception of 6.
I also see a baby.
Should we do the jokes? It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Stop.
Oh.
So that would bring us to the second watch. Second watch being
All by
Jax
myself.
and Falcon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Short squad.
Your hair's growing back.
It is. Should probably shave it. It itches. Jax, calm your stomach.
Oh. I've not eaten today.
So that, or I don't think one of those kebabs are quite dead yet. But
Can you both roll perception checks for me?
Roll the dice. Oh, natural 1. 12.
All right, you are quite hungry. It is interfering with your ability to pay attention.
oh, good. This will go well.
What did you roll, Falcon? Perception? Did you roll perception?
He's muted.
You're muted, Falkland.
You say 0.
I say,
I think they're handling a Zelda situation.
yeah. I say, my stomach is gurgling too. All right, so
Out of control.
yeah, it's just madness. All right, roll the damn dice, you fiendish
Hey.
machine. Oh, a 19! Huzzah!
Now, as you are saying this to Jax, you hear something in the distance. Sort of. Sort of a whine. It reminds you a little bit of the sound that the
Wasp.
infernal machine makes, but distant.
Jax, did you hear that?
I've not eaten. Let me eat a kebab. I will quickly eat
No,
a
no,
kebab.
not.
It sounds a little louder now, Cochrane.
Can I try and listen for it now? It's been pointed out.
Yes, now that you actually stop and he's pointed out to you with your passive perception, I would definitely say you could hear.
A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now.
You could
A little
definitely-
bit louder now. Oh, sorry.
Is it one of those waspies again?
Oh, if it's one of those waspy things again. John, DM, does this sound eerily similar to one of those waspy
It
things?
does actually sound eerily similar to the sound of wings, like a drone of some sort of flying creature.
So for clarification, when we're on watch, we're inside the tiny hut
Indeed.
watching with. Okay, lovely. All right, so we're not actually in peril just yet. But all right, it's like all right, Jax, keep your eyes peeled.
We haven't got Lulu with us anymore.
No.
It's getting quite loud. It's getting to the point where those of you who are sleeping, it's beginning to interfere with your evening agenda. You're sleeping, and you are starting to sort of stir and wake. It is a loud, very loud drone.
Let me go kill the bastard. Oh,
Just stay inside the hut. It might pass us by.
It's gotten to the point now that it is beginning to shake your teeth. Everybody in the hut, you awake. The sound of these things, whatever they are, coming by are beginning to penetrate into your mind. Your eyes are beginning to vibrate inside the sockets of your skull. It is extremely intense and horrible. I will need everyone to roll 2 Constitution saves.
Do we get advantage if we grew up around this sort of thing?
No,
We're-
unfortunately not.
we're
How about
within.
Con
you?
saves. 2.
Sean. Oh, sorry.
So say we're within Silas's radius, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, so within Silas's radius is 10 feet, and the radius of the tiny hut is 10 feet. So if you are all in one little area, then yes. If you were spread out, which seems to be more likely, then only some of you get it. So we will say. Go ahead, Falkren.
Can I make the attempt to cast silence inside the hut?
You certainly can. Actually, make a caster check to see if you can have this go off before everybody
Gets
Going to-
rattled.
gets rattled.
All right. For clarification, what is a caster check?
So it should be on your character sheet on the top of your spells area.
All right. I have a modifier, spell attack, and a save DC.
So your modifier.
Oh, lovely. With a +4.
Yes. So roll a d20 with +4.
Roll a d20 with a +4. Oh, do I trust the die, or do I go ahead and do a Kraken die?
Do the Kraken.
Kraken. All right, then. So, rolling with the Kraken with a +4. 14 plus
14
4 is
plus 4 is-
18.
So just as everybody is beginning to cover their ears, suddenly silence. The sound is gone completely. And you all gaze around in confusion, and you see Falkrin standing in the middle, concentrating, hand up. And you have no idea what is going on outside.
Can I plug my ear rolls with something?
So we can't see anything.
No, you
strong.
can see, but when
But
I say when you have no idea what's going on, I say this. You have no idea if they're getting closer or farther away. Is actually
Right. But so the source of the sound is still not yet visible to us. All we know is that the sound was getting louder and louder and louder, and the silence has gone off.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
And what is the duration on silence?
I believe it's 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check before I lie to you and tell you something different. It is concentration up to 10 minutes. So.
Fantastic.
And you can start casting it. Can you start casting a ritual? It's concentration, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't work, I guess.
Rim will use material from his bag to make makeshift earplugs. He's done that before, and he will very visibly do it in front of everybody to signify this will help after the spell.
Jax is already
After the
doing it.
spell dissipates.
Right. After a few moments, you see above you, flying fairly low, 4 bulbous creatures that look at first glance, oh, those are hell wasps, but there is bizarrely human-looking hair hanging down from their faces, and rather than having that waspish face, there are these long proboscis that is sort of protruding from its face and reminding you of a certain proboscis that you once had on your face, Zelmira. And while it has 2 sets of bug-like legs, the 2 front legs are articulated like arms with fairly humanoid hands, and the wings behind them are buzzing at such a fast pace you cannot see them. They look very similar to creatures that you once fled from in the Bloodstone. The drone of which caused some of you to fall unconscious.
Oh, those mother.
Let me go
But
kill it,
with-
Falcon. Oh, that's
With
telepathically.
silence up, you cannot
That's telepathically.
hear the sound of them. You see them fly, 4 of them, just silently over the hut.
Shall I kill
They
it?
do not stop.
Are they? Oh,
Oh, so telepathically you hear in your mind.
Shall I kill it?
what is it? And then I'm sorry, DM. Did they stop over the hut, or are they?
No, they
continuing?
are in the process of moving over. Jax does have a shot if he wishes to go out
Yeah,
and
and then I look at him.
I get confused, Falcon. Is that a yes?
If you take the shot, you'll break my concentration. He'll hear in his mind.
I don't know what that means.
We'll all be in trouble, and I won't be able to pay you that 50 gold.
Oh. It was 77.
Oh yeah, of course, 77.
I remembered it.
Yeah, you remembered it. Did you write that down?
I can't write.
Oh, that's good.
So, in utter silence, you sit. And after 10 minutes, there's a as your ears once again open up and you can hear, and you hear in the distance fading away the sounds of these creatures that flew near you but did not notice you and did not come down to investigate.
We saved you. You can get back to sleep now.
And that will bring us to our third watch. Typhon and Silas, I believe. Which passes in somewhat awkward silence as well. Make perception checks,
Silas.
please.
No, there's something to say. I'm curious now that you've taken this path and seeing where it's led. The way I see it, one of the creatures you seem to revile most has been an instrument to lead you upon the quickest path to the salvation of many souls. I'm curious. The next time you see one standing before you, will you immediately assume an evil purpose, or will there be some part of you that could see it as a potential ally in the straightest path to your goddess's greater purpose? Has it changed you at all, your perception of these people?
Typhon, I can't tell if you're speaking about fiends or snakes. Please be more clear.
Spiders, actually.
Spiders.
Eastland was an asset to us and helped us quite a bit.
Typhon, I think you should know of all people. Just because anti-venom may come from a snake, it does not make the bite any less dangerous.
That is... I cannot argue with that. But... isn't the snake's nature to be taken into account?
And so it can be. And so too can the nature of dark elves. I'm not one for unpleasant judgment. But they're evil, Typhon. Every last one. There is no good in them. There are no books that sing the praises of dark elves. There are no true stories. They're just evil. They're damned from the beginning.
DM, are there actually books, or are there stories, or are there dark elf, in fact,
Well, there are certainly
deities that I might know of that...
make
Silas hasn't been to Candlekeep. Doesn't
make
read
a
lot of
religion
books.
check.
I'm gonna use my session advantage for this.
All right.
Or not session advantage, my gifted one from Bitsy's.
Silas also doesn't know about a priest named Catterley either, but he's out.
I have a 27.
Well, of course, you are quite familiar with a certain goddess named Elistri. Let's see.
Let me quick wiki before I say
Yeah,
my
I
next
was gonna
thing in
say.
character.
Quick wiki.
A quick wiki.
Eilistraee.
Elistrai. Huh?
No good goblins either. I'm going to be the first good goblin hero.
All right. Where's the TLDR? There we go.
Lady of Dance, Lady of the Silver Hair.
Is she actually part of the Seldarine?
One could say that.
Yeah, in a manner of speaking.
Okay.
This is, yeah. You would know of Elistri, and you could spend the rest of this evening thinking upon it, so that the next time you have this conversation, you will have a bit more of understanding. But you go into your mind palace and find the various areas that you know about religion and obscure gods, and find where you tucked away the little bit of information you found about Elistri.
Mind Palace. Oh my. Knowing, however, the basics, I'm going to just say we shouldn't spend too much time on this, but If you've ever trusted me before, trust me now when I say you are wrong about that.
About what?
The goodness or the brush you paint the drow with is not quite so absolute. And you would be correct in saying they have no place in drow society. They are outcasts. But there is something looking over them. There is one who has climbed her way to power, and who sits beside one that you hold very dear. No, Silas, the drow are not one of a kind. I had hoped the encounter with the one that I am fond of could lead you to believe this, but, well, perhaps it will
She
take a
can't
bit more.
help it that she was born of evil, Typhon. It's not her fault that she's not. I don't want to offend you.
A propensity for something does not define one's nature through life. And if you think me capable of good, then you will see that as evidence sitting before you. I am born of evil, Silas. There is no doubting that. Of course I am. I am the least offspring of serpent-worshipping cultists, sent to infiltrate society, to gather knowledge and bring about their downfall and subjugation. Is that what I'm doing, Silas?
Well, when you spent time with this, then it certainly appeared so. This is not something you've spoken of freely, Typhon.
What about our time together made you think I was acting in such a way? What did she do besides trying to escape and aiding us in our path that made you think I was acting so errantly?
Perhaps you didn't remember, but every time she was around, you simply did whatever she said, without hesitation.
I trust her. I'm alive from doing that exact same thing. And she can say the same.
And your friends had nothing else to do with it.
No,
She
no, you
was your
certainly-
savior, solely, alone, with no assistance.
I'm not saying that, Silas. I'm saying that we had been in the same situation before. I would turn my back to her without a second thought of casting an eye over my shoulder, and I would feel safe.
Well, you may have
I'd
been
likely
immune
do
to-
the same with you, now that I've experienced
Of course you would.
that.
I'm not marked by evil. I don't bear it on my very skin.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Typhon, you cannot help but find your eye drawn to the incredibly clear and severe scarring on Silas's face, on his neck. And now that his armor has been sundered away, you can see it also extends down his arm.
Is this... What happened to you, Silas, before this? These are not wounds I've seen you sustain.
That's what marks me as damned, Typhon. This is a gift from Glacia. To show her displeasure with me.
But does she have ownership of you?
Yes.
Really. Still, even after your powers have resurfaced.
My Lady Vandria favors me as she once did. I have found my way back to her through darkness. But the leash upon my soul is not let go.
So what then? What next?
Changes nothing.
I'm sure there's a way to release it. Once the appropriate path has been followed. Surely
Unless I have
there's not a
something to
finality
bargain
in these
with,
things.
Typhon. Unless I have something to bargain with, which I doubt. I think she will take great pleasure in tormenting me once I am defeated.
Well, we'll just have to see to it that you're not defeated, at least not yet.
Are you going to save me, Typhon? You
We'll
saved
see.
Islin.
I'm not so sure of that yet.
Didn't you give her everything she wanted? Power, a new vessel, powerful vessel. Everything she wanted.
She took chains upon herself, something you can sympathize with, I think.
Do not paint me in any light with her. She stayed with us because it served her purpose. And once her purpose was served, she left.
Perhaps, and perhaps she shall return.
I don't know if I should wish that or not upon you.
Well, I believe she'd be an asset. But Silas, enough of this for now, I think.
You feel your spell beginning to wane. Typhon.
It's time to go and wake the others.
As you turn to look at the others, you have a distinct impression, Silas, of two feminine-looking eyes hovering over Zelmira, looking at you. Long, tapered lashes. And then
Do I recognize them at all?
they look similar to eyes you have seen in your dreams and your nightmares, but they're gone the moment you focus on them.
Is she
And
awake?
She is stirring awake as the tiny hut dissipates and the heat and oppression of Avernus comes back, and everyone once again feels pressed against the grimy, grainy sand.
Oh, yes, 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 it's time for breakfast.
But we all have the effects of a long rest.
You do indeed.
Lovely.
Who wants a rat?
I will pass, as the last rat is still sitting a little heavy.
Oh.
I'm all right, thank you, Jax.
I'll save mine for tonight. Thank you.
Oh.
It's going to keep doing that when everyone replies.
And once again, you get on board your infernal machine, and there's a as it screams back into existence. I will need everyone save for Typhon and Persephone, who is holding a soul coin, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
I don't have a stone coin.
Then you do not have to roll.
Ha ha.
19.
All right.
Whew.
And Zelmir, do you have a soul coin?
Oof.
All right, then you did not have to roll.
Oh.
And
But there's +3s, right? Everybody's close to me.
yes,
Yeah.
plus threes.
Oh,
thanks
yay.
to-
Okay, so that takes mine up to a 16 then. Rolled a 13 on that.
Wait, don't you have a negative modifier, Falkrin?
You shut
On
your
every
mouth.
roll you
That's
make?
me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I can see how the
Falkrin.
dwarf and the dragonborn look very similar.
You
Both
had,
short. Wait.
You had a pleasant night's sleep, uninterrupted by any visions of torment, Falkrin. And you once again set off towards Fort Knucklebone. I will need somebody to roll a d20 for me.
Me.
I'll
me.
do it.
Ah, okay.
Oh, no, you do it. You do it, Jade.
No, yeah, you do it.
Right.
No,
so-
no, you.
Okay. 3.
No way.
Okay, and then a d8.
D8.
You sons of...
Son of a bitch. 3.
Okay. All right. Well, that won't.
It's not a meteor at
It's
this
not
time. It's a
apply.
bloody citadel.
Yeah, no, this will be the
It's this is
meteor.
that's the role where we find random armor.
As you are driving on this day, you go through an area that is, you can tell that something immense died here. The remains of its corpse are crumbling and basically just smoldering ash and debris just cracked and crumbled around it, but massive ribs that stick up into the air and then just crumble as you're driving by. But the ground here has a sort of a swamp-like quality to it. Not quite the same, as there is nothing growing here, and the sand is sand and dirt is not gripping at the wheels as it would if you were going through like a mud flat, but something saturated the ground here, something black and loathsome. And based on this large remain of whatever this is that was here, you think it's probably its blood. But for whatever reason, in this particular area, the heat coming from the ground is particularly intense. Let's see, those of you who are not driving, and so one person can get into the storage area, and Silas is driving, is protected, but the rest of you, the heat just coming off this area in waves is going to cause you to have to roll to see how well you endure it. So who is going to be in storage?
Can I use my ice
Who
breath
is going to be in
aid?
school? No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
Because your ice breath does alleviate it for the space that you're in, but then you drive through that area.
right out of it.
Right out
Okay.
of it. Right.
Jax would be out there on watch, so it wouldn't be me inside storage.
I will be
Yeah.
out.
And against this type of thing, perhaps, Persephone, you should shield yourself.
I agree.
What?
No, nothing. Never mind. I believe we left something in that box over there. You should take a look
Get
at
in the
it.
trunk.
Wait a minute. For persuasion.
We're protecting you.
Thank you. She's ungrateful, but I'm grateful.
All right. Surly with a smirk, Persephone, you hide from the heat inside the depths of the Bloodstone. The rest of you will need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Come on, big money. Son of a bitch.
Even I can't help you now, Rim.
Yes, Jax, you said you were watching, so I would say you would be a front and center. Falcon,
Right.
where do you think you would have been?
Oh, probably trying to get Persephone into the box.
Sure,
So-
and you know this is over a long period of time, so
Yeah.
you would definitely tell that you feel somewhat better being something about Silas. You feel more secure and safe whenever you're close to him. So, as the heat is sort of rolling over the Bloodstone in waves, you just naturally begin to gravitate further and further to the front to trying to get closer to Silas. So I will say that everybody is who is rolling can benefit from his power.
mighty aura of
Yes.
goodness.
But so that is an extra 3, I believe.
Lovely. So that
Exactly.
puts my roll at a 15.
15, Zelmira, 20, you are good. Rim, you
3.
have failed. So you suffer another point of exhaustion.
So, okay, is this is different from my negative modifier?
Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, this is a that's right. You don't have exhaustion. You just have negative modifiers. So this is a point of exhaustion now for you.
Your
I'm
negative
good.
modifier, isn't that meant to repair every day?
It is.
is.
I'm down to -1. I was at -4, and yeah.
Good.
And you continue on your path this day. And oddly enough, as you are driving, you see on the horizon the floating city of Elturel. You seem to be much closer to it than you would have expected based on how travel times have worked in the past, but you are close to it. You are here, in fact. And you can see it hanging over the river Styx, these massive chains coming up from below, as even from a far distance you can hear the screams and yells and battle cries of the blood war that continues to rage on the banks of the river Styx. You could see flying around and doing battle around the city, figures wielding weapons, some that are clearly demon-like, some that are clearly devil-like. And then from the center of the city, a bright, glowing beam of light that extends from it all the way up into the sky. And it looks like a sunbeam blasting through the darkness, but as you look at it from the side of your eye, each part of the sunbeam seems to resemble a chain. Gigantic chain link holding Elturel in place as the rest of the chains attempt to drag it further down. And based on where you see Elturel, you look to the north, and indeed you can see Fort Knucklebone. You make your way there. And your arrival we will deal with when we return. So, as you continue to drive this day, actually, no, not as you continue to drive. Yes. This is the same day. Yes. Okay. As you drive, and you can see in the distance the floating city of Elturel, which you have still yet to save. The bizarre structure of Fort Knucklebone comes into view. The large, mangled fence that surrounds it, that is chunks of iron and wire and bone and just pieces of steel, creating a barrier around this large mountainous rock that emits from the ground, looking like a hand that is actually sort of rising up out of the sand. I will quickly show you that. I believe I have the handout here somewhere. I will look for that while I do. But as it comes out of the ground, it looks like a hand just sort of rising up out of the sand. And you see before you the familiar location known as Fort Knucklebone. Do you wish to drive right up and in?
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
We are known.
Just go
Right.
like beep 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 on the horn.
Didn't she say next time we see each other, I won't be so nice to you?
So
I
as you
choose to not remember that.
as you drive up, there is a and in the ground, right in front of the bloodstone, as I assume you're starting to come in, not at full tilt, Silas, you have slowed down, is a long iron spiked barb that just sticks into the ground right in front of the bloodstone, having been fired from Fort Knucklebone.
So that's a clear shot over the bow, kind of.
Yes.
Yes, I bring the vehicle, the infernal machine, to a stop, turning it sideways. So the side is completely facing the fort. I'm prepared to either advance or retreat, but obviously not continuing to advance.
Even over the sounds of the idling engine, you can hear the all the laughter and maniacal shouts of the creatures that inhabit this particular place.
I did not miss that.
Oh, we announce ourselves.
Of course.
I just realized Rim has not been here before. I think I was Eastland.
True. You were.
So presumably you fill me in on who Mad Maggie is.
I guess one of us, I'll climb up and announce, we are Omega, come to do business with Mad Maggie.
You hear
Maybe she's busy. How much will you give us to go and tell her that you're here?
Oh, let me kill
Won't
those red
find
caps.
out until you let us inside. No killing them, Jax.
Not until
Not
I
yet.
get inside.
you continue to wait there, and you see coming around the corner a green glow that floats through the opening in front and begins to float towards you all as this skull with green fire emitting from its eyes and sort of streaming behind it as looking like hair comes floating towards you as Barnabas
I was so proud I remembered his name. I was going to name drop
sorry.
him.
Sorry.
It's all good.
comes floating towards you slowly. Is there something that we can do for Omega?
Wait, we fixed him. We fixed his tooth.
Regrettably, it has fallen out again.
I guess we'll have to fix it again.
Barnabas, I believe you offered a trade the previous time we were here.
Yes, I believe you are correct. I did.
And we would like to procure the services of Chuka and Clunk.
Yes,
well.
indeed. Well, there is a price, of course. The standard rate is one coin containing that of some creature that is no longer alive. And that is merely entry and safe harbor. Repairs will be very dependent upon the damage done. You see, as Elmir, as you look at him, you see he's missing one of his teeth from the front of his mouth. It is what's causing him the lisp.
Has Mad Maggie's gratitude waned so quickly? I do believe we've brought her greatest misery she's ever experienced.
That is no doubt true.
We
Do you
also
have more misery to offer?
Oh, for sure.
Do
She will
you
be
should just
very
listen
interested.
to the tiefling talk.
She will be interested in such things.
We also sent, and this is from Eastland's time, but we sent one of the surviving servants of Ragadaga to her
Yeah.
as a tribute.
He sort of cocks his head to the side. This individual did not arrive.
Not for lack of trying.
A soul coin, and you may enter safely.
Oh, I've got one.
You hand over a soul coin?
We will be. Do we have your assurance and a. Well. Official and binding assurance that we will not be harmed inside if we abide by the rules?
Absolutely. A soul coin grants you and yours safe harbor for a period of 24 hours.
Even safe harbor from the creatures, the madcaps, the redcaps.
Safe harbor means you are under Mad Maggie's protection.
Can we kill the red caps for fun?
Regrettably, no.
I'm sure there's a price.
Everything is negotiable. But you would have to kill a great many of them for it to make a difference.
Oh, well, I have killed lots of imps. I haven't seen an imp in a long time.
You must have made a reputation for yourself.
Sorry, what did you say?
A soul coin, please.
Oh, here we go. I'll hand over my soul coin.
It
Barnabas, did one of the
lifts
red
from
caps
Mhm.
take your tooth again?
Of course.
I will cut them and gut them.
Or you could just steal it back, Jax.
Oh, I'm good at that. I'll do that.
Anything you could help us out with? A favor from Barnabas, if we can provide you with some dental assistance once again?
Possibly. You should speak with Mad Maggie first.
Of course.
Easy for you to say, right?
Please allow me the dignity that I have. Such as it is.
It's actually quite endearing, Barnabas.
Please,
You're
Barnabas.
able to cast spells like this.
Fortunately, the most useful spells for me are innately learned in my current form. But alas, it is very difficult.
When the DM breaks himself.
Well, if that is the case, it is hardly in my power to rob you of any dignity, Barnabas.
Follow me, please. And he
What is
floats.
flattery to a flame skull? I don't know.
He floats ahead of you and into.
He has a nice jawline.
into
Floats
his-
ahead of us. Literally
Oh.
ahead. Oh, Barnabas,
with-
I'm sorry.
moving with stately grace, floats
Stately
ahead of
grace.
you into Fort Knucklebone.
Fort Knucklebone.
You see once again the familiar tendrils of this bluff that rises high above you. It is simply teeming with these creatures, the red caps and the mad caps, that are just hooting and hollering at you and casting insults. And whenever your back is turned, you could see bits and pieces of dirt and debris and trash being thrown at you. But as soon as you turn, they scatter, and there's nothing to cast your ire upon. You see walking, lumbering, carrying a large box of something on his shoulder. The
Mickey!
walking form of Mickey stops and looks at you all.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
He continues walking.
Mickey. Is Mad Maggie here? Which way?
He begins to walk, and as he does, you see Pins and Needles, the two imps that are her familiars, come flying and land on top of the box that he's carrying, looking down at you.
Welcome, welcome. Omega, quite an honor, You are free to stay for 24 hours under the protection of Mad Maggie. Protection.
Thank you, Pins, Needles. Good to see you again. Typhon,
Yes.
do we... is there anything else we wish to inquire about?
I think I have something that we have something that Mad Maggie may be particularly interested in. If we didn't trade it away already. But
Well, Pins, Needles, is Mad Maggie available for a conference?
She is busy at the moment. But she looks forward to conversing with you later. Conversing.
Conversing. What does that mean, Falcon?
That means talking. Don't worry, we'll let Typhon do all the boring stuff.
Why do they have to use big words?
Because
They're
there's
only
oftentimes-
big to idiots.
Oh.
Oftentimes,
Hang
Jax,
on a minute.
small people like to use big words.
Oh. You've got me all confused.
So you have come in, of course, with your with the Bloodstone, and you can see over in the corner, working on other bits and pieces of the fleet of infernal machines that Mad Maggie owns, the forms of Chuka and Clunk.
Is it funny that I actually miss seeing these faces?
It's
was
not funny,
considerably
Falcon.
less complicated at that time.
This is a very odd place, Falcon.
Yes, Rim, this is one of the few safe havens in Avernus, provided, of course, you pay for it. Mad Maggie has sort of a neutral law.
Weren't we attacked with an attempted assassination here?
Truth and Mad
It
Maggie.
was not her fault. We are neutral.
Exactly. And Mad Maggie was
Neutral.
certainly generous with her assistance after the fact, granting us machines and repairs. So we are very grateful to her for that.
Just player talk. Like, she kind of encouraged us that if it would be possible to get some of those warlords out of the way, she would be grateful.
Yeah, no, she
The only thing she said was that she would not look upon any sort of alliance favorably.
right.
I thought she specifically said that she would be happy if some of her opposition were removed.
She was referring, I think, specifically to Ragged Dagger, but
Absolutely, because everybody
We
hated
killed.
Ragged Dagger.
Okay.
Have we been back since we've killed Ragged
We
Dagger?
have
you
not.
have not.
No.
This is the first time we've been back.
Refund.
Also,
my
does
save,
anyone-
please.
Does anyone know what happened to the Golden Doom? Which was Fionor's war
Smiler
machine?
has it. Smiler took it.
That's right, we gave it to that mother. Okay.
Yeah.
It was his first
Yeah. All right.
with bunny rabbit ears.
Yes. hoppity hibbity.
Well, pins and needles, would you care to give us some privacy as we discuss our next moves?
Of course.
We request this as Mad Maggie's guests.
They disappear.
I don't know if they're listening or not.
Yeah, are they actually? Because Typhon, they're similar to you, to your imps, right? Like they just because they don't see them.
This one takes a form of an imp and acquires their abilities, but is not a true imp in itself.
I see.
Jax, do we still have the whip?
The whip.
Whip.
What whip?
I
The cool
believe
whip.
I looked at it and it is called the Lash of Lachrymos.
If we have, it's in the bag.
Was that given to me?
You have all the shit.
Then it'll be in the bag.
I love
That's
the
a
visual of Typhon saying, "You have all the shit."
There's one whip.
Goodness knows why that is the case, but
As it is pulled out, Falkren, make a Constitution saving throw.
I don't wanna. All right.
And a dex
Constitution
save,
save.
I whip him with it.
No. First off, you have to whip her. Second off, I don't want to roll for. All right.
I don't see it in the handouts, though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Don't see it in the handouts?
I'm gonna do.
item
Oh. Okay.
Lash
Well,
of Lachrymos.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a Kraken die for this one. Rolled a 9 with my con of a +2, which puts me at 11. Which,
So-
knowing hell, probably isn't anywhere near enough.
11 is enough. Is seeing
Oh
this
my
thing, there is a visceral response that you have not had in the past. Of course, that was a great deal of time has passed since then, the first time you saw this and now. But remembering the way that it was used, the way that Duke Van Tampur used it, and what it represents, you feel your gorge rise, and just you feel revulsion looking upon this thing in a very visceral way. You almost, your breath catches in your throat. It is difficult for you to be nearby this thing. It is altogether evil and corrupt, an anathema to what you and what your god represents.
I think Maggie would like this quite a lot.
Well, I hate it. So, yes.
I'll make sure I get a good price.
Did you want to have any repairs done?
Well, I think we want to maybe speak to Maggie first and leverage our defeat of
Ragadaga.
Ragadaga, and then potentially selling her the whip and stuff to maybe even net a soul coin. We'll see, depending on how grateful she is. So,
All right.
that kind of thing.
Well, then you have some time to sit around and explore. Let's see here. Okay. Ooh. Zelmira, what is your passive perception?
Uh-oh.
Okay, I think, but I can check on that for you. That it is 14. It is 14.
14.
E.
Good to know.
Oh, I don't like that.
What all do you have on your person?
Really nothing. I came from a really bad
I got
situation. I'm very poor. So I
this
have
ashtray and this lamp.
I have this
need
like
that.
broken piece.
I don't need anything. I need this.
I have this broken piece of glass. That's all I have.
You
So
put your hand to the broken piece of glass
no.
to get a little bit of comfort, and it is missing.
Oh no!
I'm so sorry. I rolled a 4 on my d8 and a 16 on my stealth check.
Can I list some other things that I had on my person, or is this a hard?
Sure.
She had some armor. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I now know what we're doing with the rest of our time here. And
Rolling a
Fort Knucklebone.
D2 to see.
Oh god.
Yeah, they got the stone.
God, and I'll never get it back. That's gone forever.
No, that's not true. Jax,
Yes.
time to go red cap hunting.
My stone is gone. It's gone. I just had it. It's gone.
Oh.
We would remember that they thefted before.
Yes.
I would not. I was not here.
That means I repaired it for nothing.
You're the one who repaired it?
No.
Okay, well, I know you're not smart enough to make up
Jax,
that lie.
do you have it now?
No.
You have it now, Jax.
No. Definitely not. I would not steal.
Only borrow.
Borrow.
Have you borrowed it again to fix it? Or
No, because I don't have needle anymore.
okay, so is this a normal thing here?
Oh, absolutely. Jax, take a look around. See if you can't find any tracks or see.
And Jax.
On it. Find and kill the thief. The thief.
No. Steal the stone back and anything else that looks valuable.
Can I use a skill to look around for clues?
You can, yes. Make
What
a
skill?
perception check.
I was going to say, did I see anything like that happen?
Well, that's a good point. Just a second.
We were all
Rolled a
we
16.
were standing in a circle talking, right?
16. 16. So with the 16, you definitely see sniggers and laughter of creatures around.
New tricks! New tricks! We've learned some new tricks! New tricks! You'll get it all! Get it all! Don't go to sleep! Don't go to sleep!
Technically,
My
I think
fears-
this is a breach of the contract of protection. That would involve protection.
There is no harm being done.
Yeah, no
But
one.
as long as we're in this Fraudian labyrinth, this will continue to happen.
Says you know harm is being done.
Exactly.
Are you being harmed, my dear? Are you suffering? Are you sorrowful?
You hear, as stumbling around the corner, you see a hideous old crone with one enormous hip that is actually further up her body than the other side, so she's like a constant angle as she comes walking through. She's got a dirty dress on, and she took Rim away.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. As she comes forward,
And Rim
you
jumps back in the soul coin. He's like, "Oh hell no!"
out comes walking towards you, and behind her you see the hulking form of Mickey. She comes walking forward.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of being introduced. I am Mad Maggie, and what might your name be, my sorrowful child?
My name is Zelmira.
Zelmira, welcome. Most welcome.
Maggie, she is under our protection, and therefore your protection.
Indeed. Welcome back. You all have been busy. Very busy. I've heard fascinating tales. Are they
What have you
true?
heard, Maggie?
I've heard that you fought and destroyed a important figure to our illustrious great lord. Power is weakened insignificantly, but somewhat. That
There have
is
been a few of
impressive.
those. Be more specific.
I
I
believe the
was
one on the
speaking
hill.
to a Haruman.
Oh, yes.
And is it
He
true?
could not stand with us.
Is it true that you have defeated and destroyed Ragadaga and Feanor?
It was so easy.
Pale? Easy, was it?
And we killed
Ragadaga
that
did
big
have it.
thing. What was that thing? Big, massive thing.
Yes, the Thekurat.
There, one of them.
Would them having killed Ragadaga be news to Zelmira, or would she have known that?
It would be news.
Interesting. Talk about that later.
Ragadaga was. There's not much to tell, Zelmir.
We made pork
Oh,
chops
I'm
of him.
familiar with Ragadaga.
And the Bloodstone.
Unfortunately,
It is.
too familiar.
She puts her hand lovingly on the side of your infernal machine.
It's been a long time since it's been back home. A little worse for wear, but still purring.
I fixed the axle twice.
Did you? I assume you'll be wanting repairs.
Yes.
And there's a price, of course.
You promised your gratitude.
You
in
have it.
exchange for killing Ragadaga.
Oh, yeah.
You have my gratitude.
That's good.
Well,
True
can we...
friends of Mad Maggie enjoy special rates.
Very good. And are there special rates to the safety you offer in this place? Or...
A soul coin is generally the fee. I believe you have already paid it, but I am possibly interested in something else if you want to discuss alternate forms of payment. She says as her eyes move over towards you, Zelmira, with a hungry expression.
Who am I standing near?
The entire group.
You're standing close to me because I stepped close to you when she got all.
I lean over to Silas. Is this a normal thing for her?
It could be said that a thing feeds off suffering, then that would be her.
It is my nature. And while your friends... Oh, I do not see that particular source of suffering from before. Oh, and you all bear the weight of that pain. Yes.
It is not time for discussions of pain.
Oh, I
or
disagree.
Oh, really? Would you
If
like to
you
discuss
wish-
my nature?
If you wish to stay here, without paying the customary fee, I will grant it in exchange for a journey into this one's mind. You've been on such a path before. There was no harm done then, and there will be none done now.
We will pay the fee. Maggie, it is not for us to decide.
I perhaps could sweeten the deal.
Then sweeten an offer. While we go
What
about
do
talking
you
to
want?
Barnabas and having the war machine repaired.
Yes. Also think about what you would want. I will bring things to offer.
Please do.
The first thing we would want, Maggie, would be to leave with all that we entered with.
She gazes towards one of the red caps that shrinks.
Kill him.
Return what you have taken from my guests.
You see a scurry and a scramble, and one of the madcaps comes forward. His face is a mass of blood as the hat that he's wearing is just sort of sunk down onto his head and actually become part of his head, and his eyes are bulging out. He holds out his hand, and in the middle of it is the stone, Zelmira.
Zelmira hastily retrieves her stone and puts it back. In the safekeeping.
He runs away and begins and dives back into the warren that is the fence around Fort Knucklebone.
What was that thing?
Red cat.
A useful tool, but they have their faults. They are to be unmolested. Special friends of mine. Understood? My apologies
Maggie.
for the misunderstanding.
Would you hear the story of Ragadaga's last moments?
Thrilling antics of violence. They have their place, I suppose. But I trust he didn't suffer. You don't seem like the types.
There wasn't much time for him to suffer.
Then you lack imagination.
Rim will
Be
step
surprised.
forward in front of Zelmira, and he'll look at Maggie, and he'll say, "She's not the only one in this group who has suffered recently."
Yes, indeed. But yours is a familiar flavor. Many here suffer from these pangs. And I sense you are already recovering. What a
Familiar,
shame.
but not useless.
You all being here is like a refreshing breeze. It does my old bones good. And I am appreciative. And will show you my appreciation as only I can. But there's only one thing here that I want. Other than soul coins. Always useful, those.
That thing being.
Oh, what I've already spoken about.
I see. Well, the answer remains the same. That is not our decision to make.
I understand. She turns to you, Zelmira, quickly. But dealing with pain, releasing the suffering, plumbing its depths, finding its source, and experiencing it fully can be so cathartic. You really should consider it. And as she says it, drool begins to drip from her mouth.
I have no interest in plumbing the depths of my pain with you, thank you.
I
We'll
fear I may
explain.
have come on too strong.
We'll explain, Zelmira. We'll explain. For now, Typhon was correct. We have needs.
What about the whip,
Choke out.
Typhon? The whip, the pain, the whip. of pain.
Not yet, Jax.
Chuka! Clunk!
And you see the two Kenku come stepping forward, each of them wiping their hands on aprons, and Chuka has a long wrench. These are Kenku, Zelmira. They are large crow-like humanoids. And the one, the slightly smaller one comes forward and says,
Can't keep the boss waiting! See to my friend's needs. The Bloodstone, your old friend, is in need of repairs.
and Clog says, A place for everything and everything in its place.
Now, we recently experienced the legendary hospitality of one Mahadi, and the mechanics there had fascinating upgrades that could be installed. Your Chuka and Klonk here seem to be enormously capable. I'm sure the upgrades that they have dreamed of would be no mere imitation.
You mentioned the salamanders and the workers at the Wandering Emporium, and you see the two of them look at each other and their feathers ruffle up, and Chonk says,
Spikes! Get them heads up on them spikes!
clearly do not have any love for the workers at Wandering Emporium.
Right, well, if those are available, please let me know.
That's a question, all right.
So, as Chuka and Klunk go over the damage that's been done to the Bloodstone, they look at it carefully, moving their hands over it, and they look at the Infernal Screamer in particular, and they talk back to each other, back and forth, in a language that none of you can understand. And they look at it, they put their hands over it lovingly, this sort of torso-shaped creature, the appendage that's been attached. And one of them turns back to you and says,
What a deal!
nodding their head. Appreciation. And then the other one looks and rubs his beak with his hand and says, makes a noise that sounds like coins falling. Just
Is that with the discount?
and he points over at a large large apparatus that looks like the hand of a grappling hook, and points at the stone around it and shows. He, through a series of hand gestures and repeated phrases, manages to let you all know that they have the ability to take the grappling claw of the from a back of a scavenger and attach it to the chain of the wrecking ball in such a way that by working a lever on the machine, it can come down and encompass around the stone to the point that it can be used as a grappling thing again.
So like
and
interchangeable?
Interchangeable, yes.
That seems like a good idea, to me at least.
Useful bonus.
But in order to swap it out for the grappling, we'd have to drop the bloodstone.
No, they show you a way that it can be done that is very, very fast and effective.
Brilliant.
Wow, a free action? Awesome.
No, not
It's a toggle. It's a switch.
Not a free action. It would
I
require.
mean action.
It would require.
Right.
It would require to. Would require effort and time to do. It would take a little while to do, but it would be extremely handy in situations should you ever find yourselves upended or need to bring up another machine that is overturned, which you've used in the past.
Okay.
Yarp.
So
Okay.
that's the repair plus the install for a
Mhm.
soul coin.
For a soul coin.
Oh, that's a
And then appearing atop of the bloodstone, as he says it, is our pins and needles again.
Of course, there are means of payment. Other means of payment.
Is it pretty clear that she's talking about Zelmira's pain?
Yes, it is very clear. She's made it quite obvious.
Yeah.
She wants to do a similar ritual
Right.
with Zelmira that she did with Lulu, where you will all enter into Zelmira's mind and experience something that is causing her great pain that she may or may not be aware of, and by doing so, sort of release it in a way that gives her sustenance.
Persephone turns to Zelmira and says, "Without us, you wouldn't even be here. You'd still be in the Emporium. You owe us this."
Zelmira. Oh wait, I can't. I don't know this information, so I can't share.
Yeah. Persephone, whether she owes it to us or not, it has to be her choice as to whether or not she wishes to have this done. We have the coins to pay, though I am loath to give any more soul coins over.
What am I agreeing to?
reliving what you experienced.
I
Perhaps
relive that
realer
every day.
than the first time.
But you will have us there with you. And in the culmination of your pain, Mad Maggie will be able to feed off of that event.
If you want us there.
You're feeling the pain already. You might as well make some use out of it.
Do you have to come?
I look at Maggie.
She's not presently there, but you can look up at her.
No, but it's recommended.
It helps to ease the process to have people around you. People that can take care of you, help you. We had a friend that needed to remember something, and this process allowed her to do that.
Zelmira, if you so choose, I would wish to be there for you.
As would I.
As would I.
Can I take...
Despite how you may feel about me, I would be there to protect you.
I'd love to be there. It'll cost you a foot rub. 1 foot.
Not a feet rub, a foot rub.
A singular foot rub.
And
Now, Jax,
One
we're in
feet.
hell. You have to be careful about making bargains with indeterminate statements. She could rub her own foot and close the deal.
Oh, shit.
Well, I suppose Persephone has a point. And if this is the only way forward, then fine.
it's not
not
the
let-
only way.
Falkrin is right. Do not let this place convince you that you are beholden.
What's
You
the...
can be defeated, you can be diminished, you can be sad, miserable, be whatever you are, but do not be someone else's.
So the option, though, is to give her soul coins, and we don't want to give her more of those.
It's not that we have them to spend.
But why spend them if we can get it for free?
Well, it's not for
It's
free,
not.
really.
No, it really is.
To
Free.
you.
We've already
Yes.
lost you because of the misery of this place. We don't need to lose another.
We haven't lost those of us that are still here. While some of us may be sharper and have more points than before, we are all still here, and while some of us may owe others, we are all still here.
I'm just saying the things that you're not saying.
She's right.
It is up to her. If you can see yourself being defeated by this, then don't do it. We need you in full strength. But if seeing the full clarity of your sorrow will break you and send you, well, into a catatonic state as you were before, then we'd gladly pay a soul coin to avoid that.
This is why we would be with you.
Zelmira, if you can't remember where your brother is being imprisoned, and this ritual helped Lulu remember something she buried, this may be a step in the direction of saving him.
If it gives me any chance to save Artie, I owe it to him to do it. I'll do it.
I didn't know you had a brother.
Familiar with Artie, but Zelmira, sorrow shared is sorrow halved. You will not lose your grief.
Is that acceptance? Acceptance?
Much chagrined, she gives consent.
Wonderful, wonderful. We will tell the mistress. Tell the mistress.
Disappear.
Rim will extend a claw out to hold your hand, Zelmira.
DM,
And shaking, Zelmira grasps Rim's claw.
GM, will the warding bond work during the ritual?
It was your experience that all spells seemed to work fine
Okay.
while you were in whatever space that Mad Maggie was concocting.
Okay, I thought that's what I remembered, but I wasn't sure if that was just a trick or, Avernus.
Chuka has been watching all of this and has his arms floated and just shakes his head. Problems, problems. The world runs on problems.
Silas, for the duration of the ritual, give Zelmira your bangle.
Of course. I reach out. I take off the bangle off my wrist. My charred, blackened arm. Hand it to her.
What does this do?
It will allow me to aid you. I will be able to guide you and give you strength on any challenges that you may have to endure. And we all will help you. Plus, it's also kind of pretty.
You hear a cackling laugh echoing from the cave where Maggie makes her home here in Fort Knucklebone. Just
Good! Good!
When it is time, Zelmira, we will lend you strength.
Mickey, get me up there! I must prepare the ritual. Please make yourselves at home. I will have refreshments brought, such as they are.
Mad
I'm
Maggie,
sure that the time we are here does not count against the time purchased.
Oh, no, you've purchased a great deal more than time.
Mad Maggie, do you have any supplies laying about? Some members of our parties were looking to refit themselves. I can't imagine a lot comes in, but...
Chuka and Clonk can help with that.
Lovely.
Mickey, the ritual. Ah!
and you see Mickey, this enormous, disgusting pile of walking flesh, just pick up Mad Maggie and begin to climb up the ladder that leads to the upper area.
Faster! Faster!
And she is out of view, and you recall that it took several hours before for her to prepare for this.
He seems to be walking better. That's good.
So you've seen this ritual happen before. What did it look like?
You will enter a circle. Mad Maggie will gain access to your mind, and we will be there as barriers. For the briefest of moment, we will all have access to each other's mind. But after that, we then share in your memories. And then Mad Maggie will seek out the source of your pain.
And then we fight a big woolly mammoth.
Well, that was particular to our friend, but the pain that she was enduring took the form of a giant mammoth, which we then helped her defeat.
The pain that you feel, that you remember, will be displayed to all of us in vivid clarity.
After this happens, I don't want to talk about it. It can just pass as an understanding.
Is there anything you'd like us to know before we go into the ritual? Things we should avoid, or...
Just know that I lost everything.
Falcon is going to take your hands and look you in the eyes and say, so have we all. But this right now is a moment of a new life. So live it well. Every day you wake up, you have a chance. Chuka, Clunk.
Zelmira pulls out. Sorry.
Damn you, you Kenku bastard! Why can't you talk like normal folk?
I have to say, hands down, my favorite character voices are Sean doing Kenku. He does a fantastic job.
It's amazing.
Where's that like a shit thing? Where's that quote?
Runs faster than devil.
Runs faster than devil with diarrhea.
Yes, that one. Yes.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Go ahead, Liz.
Oh, it's okay. It's just I was just gonna say Zelmira pulls out the bauble, still imperfect, from Shane, and actually is finding some sort of meditative comfort in seeking out and knowing its grooves and the chips where there were not chips before. It's grooves. She's vibing.
Does anybody have anything they wish
You
to
know,
do?
they say the groove is in the heart.
The chips were always there, Zelmira. He just never saw them as imperfections in you.
Stop! That's so rude.
It's gonna be tears. It's
So
happening.
rude. It's unbelievable. What bullshit.
So, there are a few hours now while Mad Maggie prepares. Does anybody have anything they wish to do? Chuka and Clonk are standing by. What do you want from them, Falcon?
Is there any armor for creatures such as ourselves? Not for the cars, not for the machines, but for humans. Do you have supplies, weapons around?
A place for everything, and everything in its place.
I remember that one well. Can you show me?
Can't keep the boss waiting.
And they come over to an area where you just see scrap metal. Piles and piles of scrap metal.
Thank you so much.
Typhon.
Few
have a
souls get
moment.
to experience my gratitude. They go back and step over and begin to work and repair the Bloodstone.
DM, is
Gonna
there
watch 'em.
anything in this pile that, like, I'm looking mostly for Silas. I want to try to.
Ask Jax to help you look.
I'm not in the pile.
Jax is
You
currently
find Silas. How did you
watching
get
the
here so
Kenku.
fast?
I'm not looking for Silas. I'm looking for Silas. Yeah.
He's not in the pile.
Down. All right.
These are investigation checks.
Oh, good.
Jax is currently watching the Kenku, trying to learn from them, as he thinks he's a pro mechanic now. But if he's needed, he will go.
No worries. I've got a -1 on my investigation, so let me roll this bad boy. A 10. Respectable. The -1. All right.
There's definitely some pieces of metal in here that could be fashioned into armor-like pieces, but whether or not they would function as armor, that would kind of depend on what tools were used and what skills you have.
On the fashioning, yeah. Let me think here. Do I have tools or skills? Survey says. River sticks. So yeah.
You can try.
I don't remember. Well, it seems that there's at least some stuff here. I'm not sure if we could use any of it for armor.
Rim will go up to Jax and interrupt his repair monitoring. Jax, would you help Falkren?
Is she stuck in a window again?
No, but she's looking through junk, and you are very adept at finding buried treasure.
Oh, treasure. I love treasure.
And Rim will just give him a gentle pat on the back in the direction of Falkren.
All right. While this is happening, Silas, did you want... I sent you a message. I don't know if you got it.
Approach Typhon.
Okay.
Typhon, there's something I witnessed a moment ago. You're so very good at currying favor. I know that I'm blunt, but let me whisper something to you. See if you can do anything with this.
Yes.
Check your Zoom.
Oh.
Secrets don't make friends.
Secrets.
Silas can't be seen being nice.
Why not?
Ah. Are you able to tell me
Who is he,
which
Typhon?
ones?
Those. Everyone sees Silas whispering to Typhon and then nodding towards some of the madcaps. Perhaps favor could be curried. Perhaps not.
I see. Let's keep an eye on them, shall we? Barnabas.
Is there something you need?
And as I talk to him, I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye straight that way.
All right.
If the information was given to you about the location of your tooth, would you prefer to have it brought back to you and have that convenience? Or would you prefer recovering it yourself, showing the thieves the pain they would experience to slowly burn beneath your wrath for having crossed you and stealing from you?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to handle that. Actually, I don't have any hands.
But you have fire.
Yes, the fire is rather conspicuous. A subtle and silent recovery of my possession is probably what is warranted here. I could just blow them all up, sort of, but then I would have to answer to Maggie.
Well, we can all dream, can't we?
They have their uses. I'm really not sure how many of them there are.
Well, they are fey creatures, aren't they? Perhaps their numbers defy even the reason of this orderly plane.
That would be both a troubling and a not unsurprising answer.
The quill you mentioned before. Is
Is
that the only magic item you possess?
He looks over you. Well, I think it would be the only one that I possess that could be of any interest to you. You and your friends seem very well endowed in that way. Just a simple observation.
I see.
Purely.
I mean, I don't have hands. That's the reason I don't have other things as well. Anyway, the Arcanist Quill, are you interested?
I am. And what would the recovery of your tooth this time do to influence the price?
Well, it is of extreme use to me. Again, no hands.
What about a more functional tooth, Barnabas? What about a tooth with more bite?
Settle for a tooth that wouldn't ever fall out.
And Rim will turn to Jax and say, Jax, can you find a sharp piece of metal that would fit inside the vacancy in Barnabas's mouth? One very pointy that might do damage to a red cap that was approaching menacingly.
There's lots of metal around here. What am I looking for first?
Well, we're looking for anything that can be used or fashioned into armor, and then I guess a tooth for Barnabas.
A sharp one.
Sharp
for
one.
biting.
Oh. What about one of mine?
No. One of these.
I would prefer not.
Oh, they're well cleaned.
Sure.
Check the pile. Jax.
Yes, an investigation check for both looking for armor and for a small piece of potential tooth material.
You can do this, Jack.
Filling, if you will.
I will. I'll grant guidance if I may.
I was about to do it myself, but thank you. I will look. Oh my god, did you see that roll from a 17?
I did. 17 was so close. Ugh.
17.
17. You remove from the pile a dark black with very tarnished silver trim that has sort of a sunburst-like motif.
Oh, sorry.
Over
DM.
the.
Sorry. I keep forgetting about my class feature. I will add another D8 to that. Sorry. Forgetting.
All right. Well, you already succeeded. So
okay.
the a large sunburst-like motif over the right pectoral area of a breastplate. It is intact and completely useful as armor.
He looks at it as
It's
no
old
idea.
and battered and slightly rusted.
It looks like a big plate, and I'll just throw that backwards toward them.
Falcon's gonna go to get it. Well done, Jax. Now take a look for the tooth.
Oh, okay.
I will carry on looking. That's a 25 in total.
20. Yeah, with the tooth, there's dozens upon dozens of pieces of metal that could be used.
I will give him an option.
So you have one that looks like, full on one vampire tooth. It's basically just a nail that you could shove up there. You see one that looks like a little tile almost that would have been part of maybe the interconnecting area of a piece of scale mail. Just small chunks of metal. A ball bearing.
Oh, I like that. I'll keep that.
Okay, you have a ball bearing.
I'll come out with a big handful of something and have a look through it.
It just Jax comes forward with just a huge grin on his face and just puts this pile of junk right in front of you and just sits back with a big grin.
I found a ball bearing.
Perhaps one of these can give you an alternative to fire, Barnabas.
How secure are they? Suppose I could have an entire mouth made of metal.
You could.
That's a thought. Are you skilled in such things? I believe I asked this of your other friends, but not of you. Are you a dentist?
No, I'm afraid not.
Any familiarity with dental work at any thought?
I mean, I'm proficient in medicine, so I could give it a shot.
Oh, let Falcon do it.
I
Please,
bet
by all means, give it a
Typhon
thought.
would be able to do that. I bet Typhon gave lots of grills to people back home in the ghetto, helping the criminal underworld. Sorry, whoops.
I would be happy to help you, Barnabas, but I should rest before I attempt it.
Oh yes, by all means, rest. I'll just wait.
Can I do it?
No.
I'm a mechanic.
I think I'm insulted.
No. I believe Rim has the right of it. Our dear night surgeon would probably be the best for this endeavor.
I was quite adept at removing teeth that hurt people. Though I have some understanding of the skeletal structure, I could attempt.
I can.
Though you realize your situation is less one of medicine and more one of engineering and construction.
Yes,
I hope you see that by a purely logical point.
Yes, I see it. I would hope that you would give me a little consideration for my situation. It is my skull, after all. It is difficult for me to think of it as a thing.
No idea what he's saying.
It is literally all that I am.
Right, of course. No, we wouldn't want to get ahead of ourselves.
It wouldn't be mouthy, Falcon.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean the head thing.
So what do we need? What do we need to do? Do we need
Somebody needs to make either a medicine check or
it's got to be medicine.
Yeah,
Right?
we gotta go with medicine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can.
Mending could potentially help.
Let's do that. Use mending.
Mending.
What are people's medicine scores? I have +4, but I am proficient, so
I
can
have
help
+7, but I'm exhausted.
We've got needle, haven't we?
We sure do.
So
Well,
a medicine check to remove the teeth that are loose and prone to coming out, and then a mending to give Barnabas a
wicked grin.
mouthful of metal teeth.
Oh my god, that would be so badass.
I like it. I've got a +4 to medicine as well, but I am not proficient because...
Yeah.
I also have a +4 to medicine, and I'm not proficient.
So after we have a long rest, I will be happy to do it. I think that'll be the best bet if he's patient waiting.
I don't think he's patient waiting. Plus,
let's be honest, we're just trying to fill the hours before we do this ritual. So
This is fair.
I say we just
if
roll
Rim helps
and
me, I
jam.
can do it with advantage, and we can
Absolutely.
get all the.
And then
I
can we-
will help you.
Can I stack guidance on top of that as well, DM?
Sure can.
And there's
Woo!
mending.
And there's Bardic Inspiration.
Right?
Does this get to be like him sitting there and be like, "Suction, please"? You know, like with
Yes,
the
yeah,
mending,
Rim's
like,
got like
mending,
drill, needle.
needle, please.
So I believe there is advantage and guidance.
Funny at all.
I'm not hearing bardic inspiration.
You're not wrong.
Okay. So roll for it, please.
Is Persephone listening?
What?
Hateful. Hateful. Just
She's in a.
She frozen.
Is she frozen?
She's
No, she's not frozen.
Blinking.
She simply chooses to abstain.
more like Persephone.
Were you with us, Tess?
Whoa.
Can you hear us? Tess?
Tess?
Yes.
Samantha?
Who?
What's
I'm
going on
confused.
over there?
Really weird.
This is very weird.
This is what she is
Oh, she's
now.
having trouble hearing.
Okay.
This is what she is now.
Oh,
All right.
we're having a full conversation.
Oh.
We were just asking, Tess, if you would
You're-
like to grant bardic inspiration in our attempts to help
Can you hear me?
Barnabas the Flame.
Yes.
Now we
Yes.
can
Now
hear
we
you.
can hear
Yes,
you.
can you hear
Now.
us?
Can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay. The question was bardic inspiration to Barnabas the Flame Skull, lest we punch out his teeth. I mean, help him with his teeth.
I think it's definitely
No,
sleight
you're
of
right.
hand.
To him.
Say, DM.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
it's supposed-
It'll be to Typhon.
It's
It'll
to
be
Typhon.
Yes.
Is
Thanks.
bardic
I
inspiration
know,
a
I've
thing
been
that
mean to you.
Persephone is in the mood to do?
I think that she sees the benefit of it for her, so yes.
Ooh, she's lawful.
All right.
That's some Typhon reasoning there.
So she, so with bardic inspiration as well. So roll. Advantage.
Okay.
D4 and a D8.
You got
Oh
it.
gosh. I mean, you know, the extra dice are so nice, but it's so much better when you get a good first roll.
Sometimes it's a curse.
So I'm no, it's never a curse. I'm gonna use my Kraken dice.
Yes.
All right.
Cracking it up.
Get cracking.
Base 16, so
Very
I
nice.
feel really good about that.
Okay.
And the D8,
See the 100 bit.
And a D4.
which is an 8.
Wow.
And my D4 was a 4, so plus 12.
So excellent. So
And then plus 4. So I actually have a 32. I think
Very
is
nice.
what.
so Barnabas reclines and opens his mouth. And as he does, you see deep in the depths of his throat, you actually could see further into his mouth than you should be able to. You could see deep down in almost like some sort of extra dimensional pocket, a burning green nimbus of light and fire. Wherever the fuel for the energy that fuels Barnabas's powers and his undead form, you are able to actually look deep into it and get a glimpse of it with your incredibly high roll. But it is not enough to distract you, as with deft hands that have spent many long years practicing amongst the criminality of Baldur's Gate, you are able to easily remove how many of his teeth?
And install? Isn't that what
No,
we're doing?
this is just a removal. How many teeth do you wish to remove?
Ah, crap.
How many? Well, wait. How many loose ones are there?
All of them.
There are 4 loose teeth.
Okay, let's do 4. I thought this was the whole process, and now I'm sad. I thought I was gonna like invent steampunk here, but
I
all right,
will
we'll go-
say that the roll that needs to be made to, well, actually, it's just going to be mending. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well-
So a combination. It's all sort of happening at the same time.
So with the medicine check, will you allow that to also be the assessment as I'm looking at the different teeth, thinking like, all right, a mild,
An
impact
incisor
you would not-
shaped. Yes.
Yeah, it's like looking at like he's probably going to be hit in the face with rocks still. So these are the teeth that need to go. And
Right. It's absolutely. So you're able to take out his entire front section of his teeth, and even a little bit of his jaw, and you point to the pieces of metal that you think will work, and you bring it forward. And mending, this is not actually the way that mending is supposed to be used, but I will say that with a combination of mending and your incredibly high medicine score, you are easily able to give Barnabas a metal mouth of teeth. And he, king, 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 king. Oh, king, 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 king. Yes, this will be much better. Thank you. What did you say your name was again?
Typhonophaicus.
I
the
will
Knight
remember that
Maxillofacial
name.
Surgeon.
Indeed. I am at your service, sir. Anything that I can help you with, please do let me know.
Can I sleight of hand
hungry?
one of his teeth away? His original ones.
Oh my God! Could we get Barnabas to join us? That would be the most amazing thing.
Barnabas. We plumb the depths of Barnabas's pain instead. Is that an option?
We came in with a Lulu and we left with a
Think-
flame skull.
I think we did. We just took him to the dentist. That's
Downgrade.
Fair enough.
You remember me as one who is capable, and us as those who are your allies.
Very well. I know how to return a favor. The Arcanist's quill is extremely useful to me, although, to be honest, it is not nearly as important as it once was. I mostly just write spells as a hobby these days. Sell the occasional scroll. But if you want it, it is yours.
Done.
Very well. You know, you have the makings of a... Well, play your cards right, and one day you'll end up just like me.
Cling, 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 cling.
That was so rad.
So there it is.
Oh, I have to.
Oh my. You should read that out loud, Peter.
Oh, okay. So, this quill's... wow, I already fucked up. Anyway.
Thank you for playing, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Got it.
You can
in
see
one.
him DM every Friday.
That's a take.
This writer's quill is infused with a minor air elemental trained in scribing, used to assist mages. After attuning to the item, the spirit gains knowledge of the arcane shorthand you use for writing spells. The quill has 5 charges. When copying a spell into your spellbook, you can speak the quill's command word to have it perform the copying for you. This uses a number of charges equal to the total levels of the spell you intend to copy. The time taken and the cost of the materials required are unchanged, but the quill performs the work for you. If the quill needs to make an ability check, it does so with a bonus of +7. The quill regains 1d4 + 1 charges after you finish a long rest.
So if there was some high-level spell you needed to copy,
It would save me quite a bit of time.
Mhm.
So there's an air elemental spirit in here. That is interesting.
Yeah. Makes writing a breeze.
Well, he's gone. Everyone.
Okay, that's the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for
joining
tuning
us.
in.
Oh.
We need to make a super
Hi,
remix.
Sean. Welcome
Like,
back.
we need to make like a super remix. It's time for burr, 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 burr.
Well, what can I say? To err is human.
That's why he got up. He needed to think of it.
I did.
We were
There it is. There it is.
we were winding down anyway, so it's
Yes,
it's all
indeed.
good.
That was not a complicated pun. It was
Oh,
quite
you're a gas.
Control.
Well, you all are
Oh,
guests of Mad Maggie. So, and friends, as the ritual is completed and Mad Maggie calls out and entreats you to climb up to the area to take your place, we are going to end our session tonight, as the adventure coming up will be, I think, more enjoyable if we do not rush it.